So, how did you find DAC? Why did you come to DAC?
I was actually taking a disability workshop course with Bethanys Story over at Michigan Works, and from day one she told me that I needed to come over here, and I thought, why not?
Would you mind sharing your story about living with a disability?
Sure. I started losing my hearing around 21, and I didn't really acknowledge it at first, even though I knew that I couldn't watch TV except with one ear propped. I could never sleep on this side, or watch TV on that side or whatever while I was laying down, and it just kept progressing. And I even remember the day when this ear started to go, because it started out as tinnitus. Do you know what tinnitus is? Just that ringing. I was in the car with my best friend in the passenger side, and I start looking around. She's going, "Bethany, what? Is there a fire engine or emergency vehicle coming around?" She goes, "No, what's going on?" I was like, "Oh no." Okay. So then I actually didn't do anything about it and just kind of put it off, and probably after 5 or 6 years I just became a hermit. I didn't go out with friends. I just sat in a corner. People would talk and I'd pretend to hear. I'd laugh with everybody else, and I learned lots of coping mechanisms to get through the day. And finally, one of my coworkers goes, "Bethany, this is my best friend's business card. She's an audiologist. Go talk to her." And I went and got an audiogram, and she looked at my hearing and goes, "Wow, this tells me that you're a trooper." I was like, okay, but I know that hearing aids are expensive. And so she got me set up with MRS, and I've had hearing aids for the past 2 years, and they've been a miracle. Helps out a lot, but it doesn't take care of everything. And I guess that's it.
Okay. What kinds of challenges have you faced?
Relearning how to communicate with people and be very upfront with my hearing loss, because people think that I'm rude, they think that I'm stupid, especially when I mishear, because hearing loss isn't just you don't hear things, it's your brain plays tricks on you. In one of my audiograms, the word was dairy that I was supposed to repeat back, and I knew I didn't have it right. And I kind of looked at her and went, "Fairies?" So that just kind of gives you an idea of some of the stuff that happens on a daily basis. So making sure that I'm up close with someone, that they look at me, that their face is reflecting what they're saying, so the emotion. If they turn away from me, "I'm sorry, you need to look at me, I can't hear you very well." It can get really frustrating, but it's how I deal, and I'm very open about it.
Have you encountered any stigmas related to your disability?
Really, it was what I just mentioned, the she's stupid, she's rude, she's just plain mean. If someone talks to the back of my head, even with hearing aids, I might just keep walking, and they're like, "Hey, Bethany, hot." Fine, don't talk to me. And then one of their friends, they'll be telling someone else who knows me, and, "You know, your friend is really mean. You know she can't hear you, right?" And then they feel really bad. So it's that one, and then when you can see people obviously think that you are completely dense because you've asked them to repeat the question 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and they say the exact same thing, rather than switching it up or trying to get the message across in a different way, which means that I'm mishearing the exact same way. That's the worst. Just because I'm not stupid, and I can interact with people on an intelligent level, but I need a little help.
How did you hear about CYAN?
That was from Denise too. I had told her that I was interested in helping people who are in their teens, 20s, and 30s, because hearing loss is pegged as an older person thing as a, well, you're getting older, obviously, you're losing your hearing. So I get mailings that would help me pay for a hearing aid if I'm over 60. But I'm not. I'm under 30. And so I want other people to know that there are younger people out there who are dealing with this on a daily basis, and we don't want to just sit around and have the TV blaring, and we want to keep going with our lives, and I want to let people know that they can. And so she thought that this would be perfect fit for me, and told Eva so, and so here I am.
Why did you want to get involved with the group?
I told Eva that I was open to new things. This is my second ever thing with CYAN. So it's not like I've delved really deep into anything just yet. But I told her I was open to new things and I would like to try things to see where I fit best. And so she tossed me along some emails and here I am.
Okay. What sorts of things have you done as a result of getting involved with DAC?
Again, I've only been here for 2 months, so I visited a number of times, and we did the advocacy training last month in the meeting, and then this, and I have the meeting next week, the 19th, something like that.
Did you have any expectations about being part of an advocacy group?
I don't think I really understood what advocacy quite meant, but in the political sense, I guess, when I'm thinking about the advocacy training meeting last month. But self-advocacy, I do that all the time. When I tell people right up front, I can't hear you, you need to do this, this, and this for me. Oh, you know I wear hearing aids, so I see you're getting frustrated, let me explain. And a lot of the problems that I've seen with people who do have any kind of disabilities, especially ones that aren't as readily obvious, as hearing aids or hearing loss, because nobody's checking behind my ears. Little kids notice them all the time. But adults, until I point them out, they have no clue. Is that nobody speaks up for themselves. They just kind of let things go. So then the next time something comes around where they need that communication or whatever there, and they just kind of let things go. So being upfront and open and owning that, yes, I have hearing loss, but that doesn't change anything, then I think that's a really good thing to do.
If you could change the way that people look at disability, what would you change?
I would say, see the disability for what it is. My hearing loss is just hearing loss. It doesn't affect my personality. It doesn't affect my intelligence level. Yes, it might take a couple more times to say things and I hear jokes in deaf time, but it is what it is. And I live with it every day, and it's all right. It can get frustrating. Sometimes it presents loads of humorous material, and the mishearings can get really funny. But yeah, it is what it is. And then if you don't know how to deal with it, and I'm sure I've done this with other people too, is ask, and I'll let you know, because it can be really rude for even some of my good friends to sit and talk to me like this because they think they need to over-enunciate, and it's just not necessary.
What advice would you give a younger person with a disability or with the same disability?
To make sure that you live your life to the fullest that you know how. I hid for a long time, and a lot of that was just because I didn't know how I was going to pay for hearing aids, even though I knew I needed them. But I can do a whole heck of a lot of stuff. I may not ever be a 911 operator because I can't handle that kind of phone interaction or anything, but I sing in a choir. I still learn languages and tutor in Russian with other people, things that I thought that when I started losing my hearing was completely lost to me. And it's been such a joy to learn that they aren't, and maybe I have to work a little bit harder, or I might not get that half step in music just as well as everybody else, but I can still do it. And I've found those things that make life enjoyable, and I keep doing them. And you have to do that for yourself too.